Every Saturday from 9:30 until 11 a.m. Sometimes we go from 9 to 11. It's a busy Saturday. Let's see how much we can make in reference to use of the time that we have. A little footy since last night, but we'll bring the warmth. It's our house and we live here. One large CTD family. It's Saturday. Let me say very early on the program as well that we won't be on next week and the week after. That's because we have the Samdigwa program coming up on DBS Radio next week Saturday and the Saturday immediately before Carnival. The Carnival jump-up days, that is. So we won't be on for 2 Saturdays. Where boy Nigel? That one had we. Nigel, where are you?
I am right here. I
was saying that one had we, Nigel. We won't be on for 2 Saturdays.
Yes, that's a hard one. A hard one. But you know what? Whatever we have going on is going to be, exciting, and people will welcome that because it's in the carnival vibes. So we'll be good.
Yeah,
we'll still be connecting somewhere.
Yes, we will be. That
is
the plan.
I'll be connecting with you, somewhere around.
That's I hear we boy. I see you on shift too. I don't know who put you on shift, but you're on shift already. Yeah?
Hey, youngster, good morning.
You're on shift for broadcast.
Good morning to the PD.
So how you doing, Nigel?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. Another wonderful week as always. Always give thanks, And then I'm here to connect again. So everything is good. Weather is nice, no complaints. So trying to make it happen, was locked in a little earlier, trying to split myself between, Calypso in the morning, if the Kai and Duncan and company. And of course, watching and feeling so proud of, our inaugural flight from New Jersey with United Airlines. Yep. So I was split between trying to catch both of them and catch the vibes that's going on, see Dr. Miggs doing his thing up there and Asa and everybody else. Yeah. And then, of course, sticking in the Calypso for tonight for semi-finals. So all is well.
It's a one pot. It's a bouillon.
Everything
is happening. Yes, everything is happening. It was
a bouillon. Trying to juggle everything was a bouillon,
Yeah, I know.
But it was good.
I know we don't have much time. By the way, quickly, Nigel, any of our cousins already and any of our family members, our cousin and our everybody? Anybody
Well,
else?
they send me a message very early and say what happening. That was at the time because we were still, had the Calypso thing. But yes, all the cousins are on. Shields is on. Jones is on. And, Jacqueline Steadman is on. Good morning, Jennifer. Coffee from Jacksonville, always locked on. Good morning to you. And, of course, DBS popping up very early to remind everybody they can log on to see the semi-finals tonight and any of the other carnival events. Just go to DBS homepage and, pay a little bit of money. And enjoy the live stream. But yes.
The live stream.
They're all locked on and ready to connect again. So good morning to all of those. YouTube family, good morning to you as well. Glad to know you're here with us.
Let's just quickly congratulate Nigel, the junior Calypso monarch, Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School. SMA came second. That's all I'm saying. And the Bouillon monarch, Moxie Chauvier also, she retained the title. So that's
yes. She repeated that title. Yes. She did very well to elevate. So congratulations to them. And, hey, the Reverend, you have a good future. So good morning to you.
Oh, yes.
Mikael and Janelle, good morning to you guys. Reverend was good, man. Relate your boy doing what you have to do. So
what was good again, as you mentioned, the Reverend, remember Shelley performed at the show last night as well. And he let them know very early, even before his performance, that he took part in the competition back in the day, the Calypso Junior Monarch competition. And he did not place the first 2 times, I think, something like that. And then, he won the crown in 3 times in a row. So, for him, it was a big thing. But he was telling them as well, keep striving, keep pushing. And that was very good.
Yes, and I love that. I love the fact that Shelley could remind them that that's the foundation. Yeah. That's where he started in terms of his, being the artist that he is today. So, great encouragement, great advice from Shelley to the young ones. So, to those who didn't win, hey, the foundation has been laid. Yeah. Go back and get ready for next year.
Yeah, that's it. So all the best. Tomorrow as well, we'll have 5 young princesses competing for the title of Carnival Princess 2025. So that is another big event. Also today, NIgel, in Grand Bay, traditional mass will come alive because Grand Bay has its, its carnival parade, and we'll be capturing this afternoon. DBS Radio, of course. Tomorrow, Salisbury will showcase its carnival parade. So a lot is happening, and as you mentioned, the inaugural flights this morning. We'll be bringing this live from 1 o'clock. It's a ceremony that will take part, a two-part ceremony. There will be the blessing of the runway, I think, the first part of it, and then of course the inaugural flights. Will make its entrance, its landing in Dominica.
So I was scheduled to be on that flight, but certain circumstances, so had to do some rerouting.
Yes. Okay, yeah, man.
But it's a big thing. Big things are happening. I mean, a lot of stuff is going on. It's going to be crazy, like next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For Dominica in terms of events and everything that's going on. So, I want to wish all the organizers and planners all the best, because I know it's a lot of effort has to go into those things.
Yeah, definitely.
So I know it's going to be a lot for the next couple of days. And I know youngsters going to make sure that he has your well organized and ready to roll.
Yes. Big things are in the making. So we're gelling, all our ideas and everything together to ensure that even despite challenges which may come up, that we have a good product on our end as well. So that is in the planning as we go along.
Wonderful.
Reviewing what would have happened prior with a view to making it better as we go along. Yes, so NIgel,
that's
I know
the
we
whole idea.
don't have much time.
Great things.
Yes, we don't have much time. So let's go quickly to the Dominica corner, and and then we just we bring on the prayer, and then we start the program. So the Dominica corner, whose turn is it? Is it my turn?
I think
my
it's your
turn. Yes, What is Pat Aaron's calypso name? I mean,
that
people on the book.
That's some
easy.
say musician, some say the musician, but no matter, as long as you have musician in there.
Pat Aaron's calypso name. I mean, the man was a formidable force, on the stage as well.
Yeah,
he brought out some good lyrics.
Definitely.
He performing his own songs.
Musician did what he had to do.
Yes.
So, yes.
Anybody answer on the book already? No.
Let's
Pat
see.
Aaron's calypso name. Nothing else yet?
Let me switch back to the book. Let's see. I was on the YouTube one, making sure I say good morning to the YouTube people because I keep saying I'm forgetting them.
That's good. Anybody answered? Okay, so in the meantime, we can go on with another question.
Yes, but the musician, of course. Yes.
All right. So, the musician, Pat Aaron. Okay, NIgel, let me ask you a question. Which calypsonian sang Mado, suck it to me, something like that.
Mado, suck it to me. Look, my water coming down.
Yes, which calypsonian sang this song?
Look, my water coming down.
Okay, so Charles Joe answered musician on the live, by the way. Now, quickly, before we bring on Pat and Annie, which calypsonian sang Mado, suck it to me?
Which calypsonian Mado, suck it to me? That was my thing, man.
He was a calypsonian back then, very early in his career.
Gosh, very early. Yes.
And then here's the big hint. Here's the big hint, NIgel. Listen to the big hint. So, as I said, he was a calypsonian very early in his career, and then he became the Kadas King, one of the Kadas Kings.
Chubby, how could I forget
you? Yes, so Chubby sang that song. Yeah. I was doing some research, NIgel. And who sang Point Michelle Girls?
Point Michelle Girls wasn't Breaker, nah?
No. By the way, Annie, if you can answer too, Annie. Just give us your answer.
It was
Bingo. Of course. Look, Pat said it. Yeah, man, Pat. Okay, who sang, and that is for history as well, because remember, we have to preserve our history. You can document this if you did not know. So who sang Mr. Copeland? Mr.
Copeland.
Pat, Annie, anybody answer?
Mr. Copeland. Mr. Copeland was...
Charles Johnson, only question, man. No, somebody said Chandra Norris is saying Breaker, but not Breaker. Breaker could have sung it, as a performance, but the song was really done by Bingo, Point Michelle Girls. No, who sang Mr. Copeland?
Mr. Copeland. Who sang Mr. Copeland, boy? Tell me now.
We had recently.
Saxophone player. I'm watching him again now.
His name starts with I. Back in the day. Right, Idol. That's it. Idol would have sung Mr. Copeland.
Yes.
Okay,
Idol,
so here's an easy one. Who sang Mass in D Cemetery?
Good morning to you.
Mass in D Cemetery.
Mass in the Cemetery, of course. Mass in the Cemetery will be solo.
Right. And right.
Yes.
One more. Who sang Tenny Shutong?
Well, I mean, the great Tokyo himself.
Okay, all right. Who sang anything to be Calypso King?
I'm not going to answer, but I know he's a guest on the program. So
Who sang I Love
anything to
Her?
be the Calypso King.
Who sang I Love Her? Not because she's pretty. I love her for honesty.
I love her not because she's pretty, but of course, musician. Good morning to you.
That's
Yes.
That's it. All right, Nigel. So we can pray now, and then we bring on our guest officially.
We give thanks.
All right, so let's pray.
NIgel,
Hey,
I'm seeing you a long time. How are you? Good to see you,
I'm
man.
good, man. I'm good. Long time. All is well, my brother.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay, so we're going to bring Pat in a while. Let's just listen to the prayer, and then we start off the program.
And the universe, we thank thee for the gift of life today and all the blessings you continue to bestow on your children.
We seek your presence and intervention throughout this program, and we ask that you keep us connected always.
We also pray for the success of the program, its coordinators and listeners, that they may find purpose and enjoy what we share.
Bless our radio station and the nation, and may we grow to love and unite with each other, irrespective of our differences.
All this we ask in your name, now and forever. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I say
amen.
I love this.
Give thanks.
I love this. And it grows on you, Nigel, the way it is done. So I really welcome this. Part of the family. You see, that's what family can do, A member of the family
did connection.
A member of the family sent a prayer, and look at where it has reached. So I love this. Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to bring on the power couple. Pat is Pat Aaron, musician. Is someone I refer to as a prolific writer. But not just that, he is a consummate professional. Pat has brought something inherently distinct to the art form. Maybe not everyone will agree with his style, but it is evident that Pat Aaron is a very, very good writer, and he has contributed immensely to the art form here. The calypsonian, as we normally hear, is the mouthpiece of the nation. The calypsonian who writes and also performs has somewhat mastered the art form, and Pat, of course, would have done both of them, for years. When we go back to history and when we look at calypso in Dominica. Also, though, on the program is Annie Aaron NIgel, who dabbled in calypso back in the day. I'm sure you remember, Annie back in the day performing on stage, and bringing her own flair to the art form. Annie also helped manage the Showdown Mass Camp for many years, and assisted many calypsonians back in the day. I'm saying this because I remember when Annie had Parade of Fashion. I mean, that was like a meeting place for many calypsonians. That was just the spot, that ideal location on Queen Mary Street. It was back in the day and then of course Independence Street. So Annie too has played a pivotal role in the art form, really helping to propel it somewhat. NIgel, your turn, and then we bring them on.
Yes, well, I mean, in terms of, what musician Pat Aaron has done for not just calypso, but for music, because prior to the calypso vibes, of course, was involved in Naked Feet and, ensuring the musicians up there in High Street were doing what was supposed to be done, involved in costume making, involved in terms of, the band parades and making sure that Thunderbirds was out there and being part of the whole carnival thing. So, the contribution is tremendous. And one cannot but say thank you so much to him for that. And of course, Annie herself, in terms of the business aspect of it, all the different fashions that came through. And as you mentioned, Parade of Fashions at one point there, being the hub where people would gather and, judges would go and sit there, calypsonians would go there, tickets would be sold there. But more than that, you'd also get your latest fashions from there.
Especially the shoes.
The contribution.
The shoes, yes.
It's tremendous from both.
Oh, yes. It is.
Welcome to both, Pat and Annie. It's a pleasure to have you guys on and to connect with you and share the story and have some fun and, tell us what's going on and everything else. So welcome to Connecting the Dots.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Annie.
Hi, Ivona. We're here.
Okay, it's nice to have you on. I'm not seeing you as yet,
Yeah,
but I know
we're not
that
seeing them yet. Yes, we're not
I
seeing
know
them
that
yet,
the
but that will
web
happen in a few.
administrator is working on this, so we're gonna see you in a short while. Nigel, I know you mentioned a lot about Pat as well. What I have to mention from the onset is that, of course, you know I grew up in Queen Mary Street, and Queen Mary Street, that was just the mecca of calypso as well. In that area, back in it was Queen Mary Street, now it's Independent Street, so that was very close to High Street as well. And Nigel, you remember I used to tell you on the program that I would go and credit for my grandmother, you know, at Miss Babel's shop that was on Bath Road. But I also had to go to High Street as well by Nwelina Aaron shop and credit. So I had to go, you know. And that's Pat's sister. So yes,
You have to quit it from
yes.
You have to quit it from both shops.
From both shops. So yes, so I had my days as well.
What
you know?
one shop didn't have, you had to go and get the other. Or if Friday come and you didn't pay it in one shop, you'd go to the other one, so you could still get from the other one still.
So yes, I went for that. So Annie, I'm not sure I guess your camera is on. I'm not sure why we are not getting. You're seeing me?
Yes.
But I'm not seeing you.
Nigel.
Yes, I'm not seeing you either, Annie.
Let me see, Nigel. Just keep talking.
Earlier on, you know, when you were doing some walking around or something, I was seeing you. And then it disappeared.
Yeah, I was seeing them earlier.
Okay, let me see. I sent it to you. 1 minute.
So the video, I don't know if your video, if you want to press that video button to see if it comes up.
Okay.
Because we're hearing perfectly. And I just not seeing, but you know, we'll get it sorted out. Because I know earlier I saw you for a brief minute.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, Annie, let's try the camera again. Because I know we were seeing you before.
Yes, we were.
I think our web administrator is indicating that your camera may be off. I think he's saying that it's off. So just put on the camera again so we can really capture you in all your glory.
Yes, just press that video thing again and you'll see. Okay, she's probably going to log back on to make sure everything is good. So we can get that sorted out. But of course, good morning to all of you locked on to Connecting the Dots. A pleasure to always have you. We appreciate it. And, you know, we're going to be talking to Pat's musician, Aaron, and of course, Annie Aaron herself. It's Carnival Saturday. So we're getting ready to connect, man. And for those of you in Dominica, we know you're getting ready for all your carnival activities as well. You know, there's lots of carnival stuff going on. Hey, Raymond, good morning to you. Raymond Lawrence in the White Dance Theatre Company.
Yes, next week is
getting ready for Miss Teen.
Yes.
And then, you know, tomorrow, who organizes the Princess Show again?
The Rotaract Club. The Rotaract Club organizes the Princess Show.
So, yes, good morning to all the Rotaractors as they're getting ready for Princess Show tomorrow afternoon. And I know the Calypsonians must be running around busy. Well, the management team of the Calypsonians must be running around busy, trying to make sure they can get ready for tonight for the big semi-finals. It's what, 32 Calypsonians?
Yes. No, it's not 32. It's 20.
Or is it 20? 20?
Yes.
How many is
20.
it? Something 9 or 10 going through, or 9 going through, right?
22 was the quarters. 9 going through to meet the king.
To meet the reigning king Dice.
Yes, Dice.
Who's getting ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're trying to bring on, in terms of visual, Pat, Aaron, and Annie. As we said, we had them earlier, and we're just trying to ensure that we get a good view of them on the program. As we mentioned, Pat has done so much and continues to do a lot for Calypso. He's not a spring chicken as before, so he's not in his heyday as before. But Pat still has, you know, a lot to contribute. And
I mean, the writing progress of Pat continues, you know, and that's undeniable in terms of the different hits, you know, those who've passed through the hands of Pat can attest to, you know, I mean, the maestro that he is as it relates to his writing skills. You know, as you said, different people may not necessarily in terms of all the songs that he's penned have their opinions, but in terms of the craft, you can't dispute that.
Of course, yeah, you can't dispute
so
that.
Definitely so.
You may not necessarily agree with a song or songs, but I mean,
right.
You
cannot take away from the fact of the writing skills. I think the video is coming through.
Yes, the video is coming through. I see what is being done.
Something happening. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, we wanna
So
see
we should be
Pat.
having Annie, and of course, let me say special good morning to Mass Camp as well, because once we have Annie, you have to mention Mass Camp, and in terms of the work that Annie and them have done with Mass Camp.
So I'm
So
seeing
yes, we're
Pat now.
starting to
I'm
see
seeing
them now. We're
Pat.
starting to get there. Wonderful,
Pat looking like
wonderful.
a maestro there. What?
Yes, we're starting to get them. The maestro is
Okay,
coming.
look them. Yes,
Yes,
I'm seeing them.
yes,
Well, like
starting to see them now.
okay. So
Beautiful,
Annie, just come
beautiful.
closer. Come closer, Annie. Pat looks
Beautiful.
like
We're
a
starting to
professor.
see both of them.
Okay,
Here
so
we
yeah,
go.
we have
Here
them.
we
I
go.
think that's better now, so we can officially start. We don't have much time. That time goes by so quickly.
So
So let me
quickly, you
see
know
how
what I'm
much
saying?
we
But
can.
yes.
We can.
So, good morning again to musician. Good morning, Pat and Annie. Good morning again. Now we can see you guys. So, good morning again. Welcome to Connecting the Dots. We appreciate you joining us this morning.
Yes. Hi.
Morning, Nigel. And what I say now is 40 seconds, 20 minutes in an hour now, you know.
Yes, 40 minutes in an hour.
It feels that way.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but Pat, it's nice to see you. You look well. You hearing us clearly, right?
Yes,
we are.
clearly, yeah.
Okay, all right. So yes,
wonderful.
Pat, it's really a pleasure to have you on as a guest, and we talk about you being a prolific writer, consummate professional in the art form, and doing so much for Calypso and continuing to do so much for Calypso, even if you are no longer a spring chicken as you were back in the day. But we want to just get some information on Pat. Who is Pat? And there's a song I remember that asked, where Pat at? You remember that song, Nigel? I think it was Sai who sang Where Pat at. Well, Pat is right here on the live with us on Connecting the Dots, and it really is a pleasure. So, Nigel, I'll give you the first knock.
Well, I mean, just, to find out from Pat in terms of, let me say who is Pat. What area of Dominica is Pat from?
Pat is from Harlem High Street.
From Harlem High Street, and
Mount Prosper.
Okay.
The Judge Street by the home of Kelly the Ghost. So anywhere within that
area.
But Pat, tell us, tell us, Pat, just take us back to that, especially the Harlem area, High Street. Take us back to your childhood days. Give us a sense, Pat, of how you grew up. What was it like for you as a child?
Well, I always like to be alone, for sure.
So you were a loner?
And that's how I developed my writing skills, because when everybody else would go to the sport, I'd be seeking solitude, in a spot by myself.
Okay.
And I grew up amongst some older guys like Zai Manuel, Bobby, Ken Emmanuel, Ken Roots, Love. These guys knew me before I knew myself. So these guys recognized my ability to write, to create songs before I did. So they always put me on the spot and make a song about this person, make a song about that person. And and practice makes perfect.
It sure does. So in terms of that writing, Pat, you would say that from very, very early, you realized you had that skill to write from very early, right?
Well, like I said, before I realized I knew the older guys realized that too, like my brother Randy, they realized that before me. So they pushed me into it. So I almost had no choice.
Wow.
I remember the first calypsonian I wrote for was into the calypso was Mighty Peppy. And I was a teenager at that time. I was supposed maybe in the 60s, late 60s.
And you
wrote Pepe was a calypsonian, he competed alongside Breaker and the other guys. He would come to me to help him to write the songs. So. From then he moved to Mighty Zay, King Zay, who won his first crown in the 70s.
Okay, in the 70s. That's Zay. Yeah, I remember Zay. But Pat, you remember at school, were you like writing as well a lot? Did you like enjoy English, the subject, English language, literature, and things like that?
Very much so, Ivona. As a matter of fact, I remember most, if not all of my teachers who give us to write compositions. When they give me back a paper, they will held back mine and read in front of the class.
Wow.
So I was encouraged all along the way by my teachers. Though they didn't probably know what they were doing, but they were encouraging me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know the main focus, Nigel. I know the main focus is on Pat. We want to hear a lot from Pat. But, I mean, we also have Annie. So let us just bring on Annie for a little while. Hi, Annie, Aaron, and you two, of course. We really want to thank you for the contributions that you have made and you continue to make as well, you know, in the Calypso art form. And so, Annie, let me say good morning to you as well.
Hi, good morning.
It's nice to have you on, Annie.
Hey, morning. Nice to have you. Nice to have you connect with us.
Annie, normally
the program.
Yes, normally on a Saturday like this, Annie, back in the day, you would be all over the place. You'd be so busy.
Yeah,
you're relaxing those days. What's happening?
Well, nothing much is happening those days. Pat is writing, as you know, he's not as very vibrant as before, but he's still writing. So right now I'm home with him, giving him the support that he needs to write. You know? So, but it's not as before.
Yeah, a lot has changed, and you know, and a lot has changed, but we have to recognize him, and he's still he can still hold a good conversation. I know that, so we'll make it work.
And still writes.
Yes, and he still writes, So, but Annie, I'm very happy that you agreed to come on. I know the focus was really for Pat alone, for Pat to be on the program, and then I say, but Annie, why not bring you on? Because you have made your contribution in Calypso. Just take us back to the days as well for you, Annie. You know, a younger Annie Centile at that time before you became Aaron. Take us back to those days and what really drew you to the art form?
Well, I always loved Carnival, first of all. As you would know, in 1972, I was the Carnival Princess that year. I was crowned by Marriott Warrington, once manager of DBS Radio.
Okay.
And the following year, I came to NIgel. In 1975, I also went up for Miss Teenage Pageant, which was held at the Arox Lima, which of course Naked Fit was the backup band.
That's history there, Nigel.
Time. Yeah. So I came second runner-up that year. And then I always took part in Carnival. And then in 1994, I went up for Modest Queen, which again I emerged winner. The song that I did was also Calypso, Natasha Wilson and Sugar Aloes. Like the song was One Day from Natasha and Love the Body by Sugar Aloes, and I did one. It was a Calypso, a nice Calypso medley that I did that year.
So yes.
So actually, I have two Calypso, two Carnival crowns.
Nice.
And then I got to know Pat on High Street. He was really my friend at that time, was just visiting with friends and so on. And again, in 1990, we met in Miami. Yeah.
And the rest is history.
And then we spoke about...
Tell us.
The rest is history.
And then, we used to always meet on River Street. So I told him, why don't you sing Calypso? I told him, I can write you a song. I said, okay. Then he wrote that song, Hang Up For Your Jackets. I did not do it, and I think which Breaks did.
Oh, yes,
I gave him the whole story of what was happening on that street, and then he wrote that song. That's where that song came from. And then I used to go to the band house with the artists at Philip Hosford home. And the practice was so intense, and Pat had the most artists in the competition. Yeah. So Kelly Williams told me, why don't you open all the old tents? So I thought of it. I said, that's a good idea. When I went back, I called Pat. Pat was in New York, of course. I was his person down here representing him always. So I told him about it, and he said, oh, that's a good idea. Then Randy jumped on it, and Mr. Georges, and Valder Henry, and Edgar Hunter, and the whole set of us came together to form mass camp. And Daryl bought right. You know, and also it was a big controversy at that time between mass camp and stardom. Yeah, I thought we were singing at mass camp, you cannot sing at stardom. You know, and then we met again, and they say, okay, y'all cannot sing, y'all can't be singing at both tents. And it was a tug of war, because that's it, I think Pat wrote for Observer, and Observer, you know, like, he didn't know which tent to sing for, and then he finally stayed stardom. Up till now, he's still there. I think Bob left, Roy left, Dice, who else? So folks, and of course, and then we form our own team at that time. Yeah.
You have the history there locked down, right?
Yes.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I mean, so we're actually finding out the actual beginning of mass camp and how that happened. Encouraged by Kelly the Ghost, and then you guys forming the mass camp and having to put together a management team and everything else to get mass camp going. The beginning must have been kind of a rough, right? Because I mean, trying to get a camp going is not very easy.
Oh, it was very easy. The hardest thing was sponsorship. But we had people like Mr. Georges who put out his resources. I did, Pat did, Valder Henry, Singola Bumpers, you know, and we make it happen. And we had a lot of volunteers like Lucilla Lafont, Rosanna Emanuel, Regina Walsh, Evelina Blanc, Justin Boston, and it's essentially my mom. She was strongly behind this too. And we came together and make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And it did happen.
Nice.
Let's hear from Pat again, you know. Pat, so you're listening to Annie saying all of this, and you're thinking back to your younger days in Calypso and helping to build the art form. Why did you decide to go that way though, Pat? What was happening? I mean, obviously you love to write at school and all of that, but why did you decide to go into the Calypso arena?
Well, like I said earlier, I don't think I decided. I think I just told the guys around me, you my potential before I did. And they were always challenging me, so...
Yes, and Pat is kind of low. No, I was saying that you're kind of low. I'm not sure why. I'm not picking you up as lovely as I was Annie. But go ahead, Pat. Go ahead. We'll see what works. We'll make it work.
Is this better?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Let me see if I can just.
Like I said, I kind of had no choice in the matter because the older guys around me were always challenging me to come to write songs, compose songs on one another. You know. So that started this when it became a very addictive hobby. And to the point where the older calypsonians, like 15, like I said, with some kind of breaker and those guys, superior people as well. And I will pick a lot as well. Remember the song Beggar, one of his main performing songs.
Yes, that was a big song. That was really a big song, Beggar.
Yeah, he made a lot of money in it too.
Yeah, anytime he sing that song, you have his hat to.
Yes, that was his strategy. And even if he sings it today,
yes. Yeah. But Pat, even before Calypso and everything else, I mean, you were involved in Make It Fit. Were you also writing for them or just playing?
Oh no, I was a bass player, and one thing when they can trip, we did a lot of original songs, you know. Songs by myself and by Tim Dura. And you probably recall a song that I wrote that God Knew Lesson did, chapter 1, 2, and 3. You familiar with that song?
Yes, 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 yes,
I
yes.
don't. Nigel, sing a line for me. Let me see. Bring back my
So
memory.
today's my singing. Today's my singing thing.
Sing a line for me.
You have
Chappers water.
musicians, so we're singing
You
chapter
remember a
one
line in
to
that,
three.
Pat?
No, from like it's I put in a from like that song.
I should know it, but there's the name. So just give me a line,
It
maybe.
says someone could in a prayer. Tired voices that never cried so loud before. No one dared to leave the shelter. The wind and sickness
Wow.
somehow, somewhere.
I love this. I like this, Nigel, because obviously when you listen to Pat, I mean, as we said from the onset, he is not that spring chicken Pat, that agile Pat like back in the day. But Pat still continues. I mean, I'm really happy about this.
That creativity cannot just go like that. So with Naked Fit Pat, I mean, Naked Fit used to like go around performing in different places and stuff like that.
Other mother from give it that song Tower of Love.
Julia wrote some song as well.
That was a big hit.
Yes, Julia made it really big.
And another thing that I think Annie forgot to mention in the formation of Australian Mass Camp, King Dice. King Dice just entered the Calypso arena. And he was a very integral part of the formation of Australian Mass Camp as well.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll go later on, we'll talk about, your involvement with King Dice and that brotherly thing that you are father, son, sort of. We'll talk about that a little later. But let us just stay a little on the Kadas because you were Naked Fit. What was it like for you, though? I mean, because Kadas was on a high, and you contributed to the success of Kadas in your own way as well. So tell us what was happening in that Kadas era for you, apart from what Naked Fit did. So we had other Kadas bands.
Remember, most of the bands used to go to the boardroom. So we did that as well. We try to go professional. We still got a couple months, and then that didn't work out. We came back down to Dominica. We did other Kada songs as well. We had a band into every kind of music because Dominica musicians are very versatile. So yeah, we played other Kada, we played other reggae. We wanted top reggae, local reggae bands. Guys like Kobo on the drums. And we spend most of our time playing music really every day. We take a Monday off, practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, the money we made it, but all equipment we take. So that's what it's about really.
It's just a matter of playing music all over the place and trying to in terms of the rest of the bands. I mean, did you guys have anything like if Exile won, you Gordon Henderson, and you wrote one or two songs for him? Was there a nice little collaboration between the both of you?
Oh yes. Gordon is an outstanding person, outstanding musician. And I wasn't really a writer for Gordon. I would play songs and it seemed like when looking around, I think Gordon was the best suited person to sing that song. Because he came to Montreal with us. And he sang the song. And the great thing about Gordon is from this song I learned. Gordon never practiced the song. He came to the studio, we put on the music, and he came to sing the song. He sang it once, he said, okay, I know it now. And he sang it again, the second time. And that was gold.
Wow. And he mentioned about being involved in Carnival, in High Street and so on. Were you also involved in like Thunderbirds and other Carnival things happening in Newtown?
Not really, except public support. But no, I'm never really kind of a...
You was not like a social, outgoing person, as you said. You were like a loner. So those things were not attracting you? You were not attracted to those things?
Well, yes, maybe it's not attractive, but I always prefer to be writing. I don't want to
in
for
your own
myself wanting to
space.
be writing.
In your own space, yes.
Yeah, in my own space.
And then you decided to go up on the stage. You remember your first song when you went on stage in Calypso? Of course, we left Kadas now. So you went on the Calypso stage. Do you remember what song you sang?
From 84 to 88, I think 4 years of competition before I left Dominica. In those 4 years, I was always in the finals. I came first runner up once or twice. I also won the last by local competition we had in Dominica. I won that as well. Then I migrated from Dominica to the US. That was probably 1988, 89, I think.
But whilst you were performing, Pat, whilst you were the musician competing, were you also writing for other people?
Yeah, well, if you probably I'm Trinidad, when he needed to enter his crown, we singing the song different. That was the song I wrote for him as well. And Trinidad is a very continuous calypsonian, a true lover of calypso. I mean, Trinidad would call me from wherever he was in the world when he heard a song that I did, he would call, and he had a very keen ear for good calypso. Today he's writing, I think that song that Checker is singing this year, Trinidad wrote that.
Oh, okay.
And he probably will have a few other songs that he wrote from other calypsonian in the second round of the calypso this year.
That's good that we have other people coming through writing and so on. How you go about writing for other guys, Pat? Would you just like write a song and tell them, hey, I have a song for you? Or would they come to you and say, hey, Pat, write a song for me? What happens?
Well, both of the options, but what I do is I study the artist. I got to know the artist, education standard, what they can carry.
Wow.
I look at the way the people see that artist. So you do it like a tailor measuring a man to make a suit for him. So when you give a man a song to sing, it's the man feel like he wrote the song himself, and the people feel like it is his song. It is he.
I like that. No, this leads me to another question because I want to come on you now. So you sang that song, I Love Her. You also sang Anything to Be a Calypso King. So you were writing for yourself. So you wrote songs that was tailored to you, right? As well.
Yes.
What was the first song in terms of the order, I Love Her and Anything to Be a Calypso King? What was it? Which one came first? I'm trying to remember. You can recall? Which one you wrote first? Or was it the same year, two rounds? And was it the same year you did these two songs?
I think, no, Anything to Be Calypso King came first, I believe.
Okay, okay, all right.
And then another song of mine, it was a favorite of mine as well. I Can't Change My Song.
Yes, I remember that one. I remember that one. I Can't Change My Song. Yes. That was a good one. That was a really good one. And of course, you had Little Boy Blue, and then of course, you had a great album, Pat. Blaze of Glory. I think it was called that album there. One of the songs I used to play that song every time I ended my show when I did Calypso Nights back at DBS. The Dreamer. One of my most popular songs. I always loved that song. So let me ask you, Pat, when you're writing for yourself, when you were performing, and writing for other people, was there like a difference in the kind of way you were going to be doing it, or did you have a song that say, boy, I'm going to use that song for myself, and another one that was going to be for somebody else?
Well, no, like I say, when I write for an artist, including myself, I write to suit the artist. If I'm writing for myself, I won't write what I write for people, because people will put a different artist than for me,
Okay.
You ever had a situation where you give you wrote for somebody and that person sing the song, but you feel, boy, somebody else would have sing that better?
Yes, nice question.
Yes. I'm sure I had several occasions like that. Yeah, and this is always happened too, you know. It comes with the territory.
Let me go back to that song though, Pat. Anything to be a Calypso King. I mean, when I listen to the lyrics of this, it is really a good story.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sometimes we enjoy a Calypso, we like the melody, we like the beat, we like the rhythm and all of that. But when you listen to a Calypso that is well crafted, that is well written, you know, it can really grow on you immediately. And so that song, so back, was that a Mapui song, as you would say in local palace? Or
well, it was in reply to song Super L at the time.
Right. So bring us back. Yes, there was a rivalry going on. Yes.
Yeah,
but this and Christophine or something. No,
Christophine is that same song? Yes,
that's the same song.
Okay.
But there's another song though that comes to mind as you mentioned, Super L. I think it's you who sang that song. I can't remember the lyrics of the song, but it has lyrics to the to indicate that like they come on stage singing about wrestling or something like that, and gosh, I can't get it.
Same song.
The same
song.
The same song.
The same one. Yes,
NIgel.
As you say that Ivona. Yes.
Anything to be a Calypso King, is it?
Yes.
The line, I come about working plan, they come and for Islam. Yeah, the same song.
Yes. So that was in response to Super L.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's road match they see in this thing on television. Yes, they don't know because those days
they don't know how I working while you're sleeping. Yes, right.
Those days I was in the Calypso business as a little girl as well. As I said, I live, right next to Pat. But let's take a call on the line. Someone wants to share. Hello. Connecting the dots. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead, please.
A good song is a good song.
Mm-hmm.
If a writer writes a good song for you, and you go out there put some seasoning and make it sweeter, regardless who write it or who sing it, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's time we mixing good and bad. That is not a good song. It's a good song.
Okay, that's your opinion.
My name is Jackson Barker. Good morning.
Okay, thank you. By the way, NIgel,
thank you for that. As you mentioned that, though, Super L
I was just about to say that. Super L is on.
Yes, Super L is locked on, is listening and viewing. So Pat Super L says hi too, but he's listening to that part where you you had to respond to Super L. What happened? What was the story behind that? If you want to tell us.
Well, Super L and I were very, very good, So he's some kind of surprising, and in Calypso you have pick on. Somebody write something, giving you some jobs. Not really want a job back.
Right.
But Super L and I we've been friends long before that. Another my first bed, he made it. And so the rivalry is a friendly rivalry.
That's part of the beauty of the art form.
Yes.
Because remember when Tasha P came out with that song, He's a Boy. I think there was a song prior, the year before. Who sang that song? No, Calypso is Big Man thing, I think. So that was like a response to a song.
Yes.
So that is part of Calypso. I really love this.
That was fun.
Yes, Calypso is Big Man thing, and then she came with, Anyway, so, but Annie, let us just bring you in quickly. We haven't forgotten you, Annie. You're hearing all of this, and I know when I spoke to you when we were preparing for the program, Annie, in terms of the conversation that we had, but I must say, man, but Pat is just on point. Pat is so much on point. You hear me, Annie? Okay, so maybe yes, Annie, you're hearing?
Sorry,
okay. I was saying I'm just listening. I'm just going back to the conversation that we had, when we were preparing for the program, and but Pat is just so on point, Annie, and I'm just so happy that Pat remembers so many things about his involvement and the involvement of others in the art form. So Annie, you are listening to this. How do you feel? Of course, you are his wife. You all have worked together on so many things together. I want to bring in this personal aspect to it. How do you feel about all of this?
All of what, Ivona?
Hello? No, I was saying that you're listening to the conversation as well. And I'm
yes,
just going back to the conversation
you
and I had even prior to.
Right.
So how do you feel about it? When you know a lot of the history, but when you're listening to Pat telling his story, as a wife, how do you feel about all of this? By the way, yesterday was Valentine's Day. I see NIgel in his red.
oh yes. I was giving instructions.
I was asking. Yes. I was asking you.
Okay. I'm very proud of Pat because he's getting the support right now that he needs. Because, as he said, he likes to be alone. I don't see Pat when he's writing. I don't see when he's singing.
That's a good one, you know.
I don't know when because I'm surprised that this year he wrote 5 songs.
Wow.
And I've been here for the longest while. I never saw Pat writing.
Wow.
I don't see Pat singing, so I don't know if it's when I go out that he does it or when. but he's a loner. He likes to be alone. and I love it too because that gives me more time to take care of myself. If you want to be alone, you'll get your meals. I'll support you, do your work. And I get time to do what I have to do, so it worked out just fine.
Okay.
I love it.
Beautiful. I love that.
Pat,
as Adi mentioned, so do you write like more in the nights, in the mornings, during the day, or whenever you get the inspiration, you just write, or is it like?
Well, Nigel, I keep a phone with me with my recorder, right, and I have hundreds of little tidbits of inspiration.
Wow.
I usually keep my phone by my bed too. If I'm sleeping and I get a little inspiration, I wake up, I record it. I go back and sleep. Then I listen to it. If it's worth the while, I debate up on it. I write anytime, all the time.
But Pat, are there songs you have written that sometimes the words just not coming? I mean, you have the concept, you even have maybe the topic, but sometimes it's just difficult, so you have to put a particular song, on hold and come back to the next day. But even when you come back the next day, it's still not working. Have you experienced this as a writer? Like sometimes you have a block, writer's block.
That happens to every writer. Sometimes a song comes to you and you just go right through. Boom. Sometimes you get a song, you start it, you write it, it takes weeks, 6 months, and then one day suddenly it will come back. But that happens to every artist. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the territory.
But your preferred choice of writing is being alone and doing your own thing in your own space.
Yes, because to receive inspiration, you cannot be distracted.
Yeah.
That's it.
And another good thing is when working for an artist, talking to the artist helps a lot too.
Okay.
Listen to the artist. So you know what the artist thinking. You want to write for the artist like a tailor. You have got to measure everybody who comes to make a suit because everybody is different.
Nice.
Have you written a song for somebody, Pat, and you give it to them, they kind of tell you, no, change this. I don't like this line, I don't like that, change that.
Well, yes. A very notable example is the first time I worked with King Dice, the song Tarzan, and he didn't like it. And we almost turned out to be our only occasion to go together, but then we thought about it wisely. And he was in history with Tarzan is something.
And Tarzan, that's a big song,
Yeah, even Son of Sins. Titty and Belly. He didn't like it, he wasn't sure, he didn't like the song, and he had to convince him, well, that's a good song, and it was a history too.
Yeah, that too was a very popular
yes,
number.
That's another big one.
Let's go to the telephone quickly. Hello, good morning, connecting the dots.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning to Pat and
you're kind of low, just speak up a little.
Good morning to Pat, Aaron, prolific writer, and of course his distinguished wife Annie. Congratulations on your feat, all what you've been doing. I think I sent that in the chat, but I didn't hear anything, so I want to ask it. Pat, recently you said calypso is a weapon against oppression. I want you to speak to that in detail. And secondly, I want to know if there's any significant difference between the lyricist, the person who writes the lyrics, and the composer. Thank you very much. I'm listening.
Okay. You got that?
Thank you very much.
You got that clearly?
Well, that line that calypso is a weapon against oppression. Or the response to something that Christian guy wrote on Facebook saying I have weaponized calypso against government or so, something like that. Right, of course, I take it on. I say, yeah, well, calypso is a weapon against oppression. That's how it started, right? The state plantation. And calypso must always address the people's struggle.
It was built on that.
Well, we have some calypsonians who sing nice songs, even sex-oriented songs. And we have good songs, but they don't go find a competition because you have to sing what affects the people, get their support.
So,
go ahead.
No, continue.
And what was the second part of his observation?
He was asking whether there's a difference between the lyricist, I guess the person who writes and the composer.
Oh, well, yeah. A composer usually writes lyrics and puts the melody and everything. A lyricist is somebody who just writes the lyrics and then lets a musician or somebody from musical background put the music to it.
Okay.
Right.
But I want to go back. I want to go back to something you said on the first when you were answering the first question that the caller asked. And I'm thinking of a line in a song, not one song that you wrote. NC said in one of his songs that, like, some calypsonians come on stage night after night addressing a world that does not even know that they are alive. Now, I want to tie that in now with the treatment of calypso, because a lot of times, a lot of our calypsos are really for Dominica. A lot of times, I'm not saying all, but a lot of times they really cannot go past, the shores of Dominica, because if a calypsonian goes with his or her song, in reference to the topic, it may not resonate with the people in a particular country. Although in the Caribbean, of course, we share a lot of, in common. But I just wanted your take on that, though. Because we have had some debates on that as well, because some people will tell you, oh, our calypsos can just stay here because the lyrical content is really for Dominica. What is your take on that, though?
Well, remember in Dominica, calypso is mostly carnival and calypso competition. We have calypsos for leisure and for pleasure. In Dominica, calypso is carnival time, it's calypso competition. So what you want to do, you want to win the competition. If you want to win the competition, you got to sing what affects the people in Dominica.
Okay, but
you mentioned something regional and international, but if you get on that too wrong.
Okay.
The people in the people are really interested, they're really connected, they keep the people connected.
Okay. But we have some songs like that, we have some songs, we have a lot of songs that can be sung, anywhere, outside of Dominica. So, but I just wanted to get your take on this.
As you mentioned that as well, Pat, and just keeping you that same thing before we move on very quickly. For those who might be saying, boy, every time Pat writes a song, it's not patriotic, man. Pat songs always just blasting people and so on. How do you respond to that, Pat?
Well, when people say that I know it's a political singer, because I have written political songs under successive governments.
Okay.
Every government has come, I've written songs about them.
Right.
So it is my duty, I figure, to expose wrongdoing, social commentary, social and political commentary.
Right.
Because Dominica is very close to me, to my heart. And there's nothing I would like more than to see Dominica being run properly. And every man can get an opportunity to be the best he can be.
Yeah. Pat, help me understand what happens to you on a calypso night, especially now. I can recall seeing you, of course, we at the front, just checking the vibes, just listening to the calypsonians in particular that you would have written for, to see how they would have treated the song, on any given night, of the competition. But take us back to the day and take us what you have been doing lately, especially when the big show is on, or not just the big show. I mean, Calypso is on, and you, of course, as a writer, you have many songs in the competition. What happens? You remember like what it was like for you back in the day? You go to the show, of course, and you have to look at every performer, especially those that you write for. Let me see how he's going to give that, what treatment he's going to give to that song on that night.
Well, that's very important because that makes you go to know the artist better. So next year, right away, you see him performing this year, you have a good idea what you should be singing next year, or how you should present the songs to him. It's very important for an artist manager to do that.
Right. But just because I know time again, before we get into like you and Dice and that kind of relationship you guys have and so on, just give us a little idea about when it was like, Hurricane, NC, musician, Tronada, Smokey, Rabbit, that period of time. What was it like?
Very, very competitive. Very, very competitive.
Wow.
And NC, to me, one of the greatest. NC will be coming to competition, kind of feeling, and it come out winning the competition. NC is always a very, very, very competitive person.
If NC would forget a line, he would just put in something on the
very
night.
Yeah, and I like about him, he would make a practice once what everybody is singing.
You ever wrote a song for him? No, for NC?
No.
Okay, but you've written.
NC is very good writer.
Yes, definitely.
He consulted though back in the day.
But you've written for Hurricane and others, right?
Yeah, me and we can work a lot together.
But with I was asking. Go ahead.
Because when I left Dominica in '88, I believe, Hurricane kind of rose to the top, and the competition was mostly between Hurricane and Scranton.
And then Bricks.
I wrote for at that time. I wrote a lot for Hurricane doing songs like "Wounded Liar."
Owe it up to you.
Excuse me?
No, there was one I owe it all to you, right?
I owe it all to you, and then there was Blow, We Can Blow. Hurricane really for me is like a brother.
Okay, great. But Pat, we have several writers. What is your take on calypso writers now? I mean, a lot of the calypsonians are beginning to write for themselves, and we still have writers. We have lost a lot of writers, obviously. But when you look at this, what comes to your mind? And should we probably have more workshops, for writers to ensure that we sustain that level of the art form?
Not very difficult because I have tried myself and Jack was trying himself to do workshops. So Dominican people are really not into coming to work. They want you to write a song for them. They don't want to learn to write a song. But I must say we have quite a few good writers now. I remember a few of them like JD is a very good writer. Bassi now is into writing. Hunter is into writing. Peter Layton writes some very nice songs too. Guys like Daddy Chess who are helping themselves. There are some more, there are.
And of course, we have Tim is still writing, Tim Dura is writing, Jacko is writing.
Yes, Tim writing. Look, I'm writing the most prolific writers, Tim and Jacko.
Okay.
I'm both up on writers, so.
And people have been asking Kelly to go start doing some more writing too.
Yeah, Kelly's a very good writer too. He for some reason he's not pushing his talent in that direction, but he's a very good writer too.
Yeah, man, Kelly has a way for it. It's deep. Yeah, and when you listen as well, Pat, to the Junior Calypso Monarch, how do you feel about it as well? I know we have had this for many years. We continue to sustain it. What are your feelings on the Junior Calypso Monarch? Of course, we had the competition last night. It now has merged. It has now merged with the Bouillon aspect, Bouillon competition as well. But let's look at the Junior Calypso competition. What are your feelings?
Well, the competition is very, very good. As a matter of fact, this young guy, Shelley, I think he was the Irish kid as a junior
and then
competitor, right?
Yes.
Am I right?
No,
So
he was professor.
Irish Kid was different from Shelley.
Shelley was professor back in the day as a calypsonian. Yes.
Yeah,
the Irish Kid as
Shelley's
well.
another very talented guy too. For a young guy, very talented. I don't know what happened to the professor. Where is he?
Well, Shelley's the professor. Was the professor before. Irish Kid, I'm not sure what he's up to, if he's here or I'm not sure.
Okay.
But we see a lot of
I think he's doing some studies and so on. Yeah.
But there are a lot of.
Have you written for any junior calypsonians?
Oh yeah. Several of them, as a matter of fact, many of them I remember. Donnelly Duchess won about 4 crowns or so.
Yeah, Duchess, right.
And that young rising star, daughter of Fredo. To the young rising star. She won as well. I've written for quite a few juniors. I don't anymore, because I'm slowing down now.
Okay. Right. Yeah. As you say that, Pat, is there any calypsonian that you have not written for yet that you would love to write for?
Well, I can't think of anyone.
Okay, no problem.
Annie,
what about you?
Yes. Well, one of the calypsonians he always wanted to write for was Lady S.
Okay.
But somehow she never gravitated to Pat.
Okay.
So she called me and she said, Annie, this year I want Pat to write me a song. And he did, which is the song Silver Lake.
Well, that's a lovely song. Yes, I really like that one.
Because we have been everything nicely for years now, and she always turn him down. He loved her voice. He seen what he could do with her voice, and she was like, nope. And this, yes, I want Patrick.
And he's exaggerating a little bit, of course.
But you love her voice. I'm sure you love her voice. She has a powerful
also
voice.
this year you wrote for Webb. Is that the first time you're writing for Webb?
No, as a matter of fact, remember that song that Benny did, Nika, girl, don't be bitter. I was looking for Webb and he didn't sing it.
Okay.
Webb is a guy, he doesn't like to be controversial. He's controversial.
I think
he doesn't be a capo.
His latest song, right? In his latest song, there's a line in his capo. But
this year, he kind of put himself together and he realized what calypso is about, and so they're doing this thing. I'm feeling very good about this song.
Nice. Nigel, let's just look at the book and see some of the comments. I mean,
I'll tell you what, the book is good. I mean, so many people want to say hi to Pat, like, swinging
but
Williams.
There are some questions, maybe we can.
Janice Williams, of course, we wrote for, saying hi, Smokey.
Swinging Janice is one of my most favorite persons. She's a very good human being, very fair, very firm, no nonsense person.
Nice.
Very good competitor. When you see Janice sees the competition in peril, man, Janice should go on her knees and perform. I would like her, but she's very, very competitive.
Beautiful. So, of course, saying hi, Carl Kofi James, of course, as always. Smokey, Smokey Tronada. Smokey wants to say hi to. Locked on there. Joe Cam saying blessings. Let's see. Marvelyn Roy, she say you wrote for her as well. You gave her name Marvelous M.
Yes, Marvelous M, right.
Yes, he wrote 2 good songs for me in the Junior Moloch in 1984. So, Brenda Alberts, I have been listening to Anything to Be a Calypso King. I really love the song. Of course, Super L says, Pat and myself are really good friends. Calypso will be Calypso. So, there's somebody who wants to ask you about this melody, this song that you had, Pat. Hot in Roseau. You remember that song? She says one of the sweetest melody songs she's ever heard. Hot in Roseau.
This was part of on the album Blaze of Glory.
Okay.
Right. One of my favorite albums, man. Blaze of Glory. Rosalind Severin McLean, Pat Aaron, always great to see you. Thank you. Many times over here. input on the article I wrote on Zouk Music, Snapalora, Pat the Maestro, Long Live Pat. So, book is busy as always. Before we come into I know we haven't spoken. That's this relationship with you and Dice Pat. How did that come about? You guys have been, it's a great duo there. How did that come around?
My first view of Dice was, I think Quenchy Addy did Developing Gabriel and Company. And when I saw that boy, I said, wow, that boy is a natural, he's a natural actor. And then he entered the calypso business. He sang his own song. He didn't go too far but you could see the talent in the guy. So I went to look for him. I know he used to be on the roadside selling his shades and this kind of stuff. I spoke to him. Came to see me. Like I said earlier on, our first song together was Tarzan, which he didn't like. And he came and said he didn't like it. So I had already decided, well, if he didn't like the song, then I wasn't going to pursue him anymore. But then he stepped out of the store. I was probably the fashion, like I said, probably the meeting spot. And he came back and said, okay, I'll do it. He went to the studio. I never forget that. He didn't learn the song because I guess he really didn't like the song too much. We tried it in the studio, he couldn't work out it, and then go back home and study the song and come back and do it. Every day when he came to the studio, come to the boom, 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 5 minutes, boom, and walk out of the studio.
Wow.
Jeff Joseph for Grandma Gap said he never seen that before in his life.
Wow.
What you heard there, the final thing you heard from Tarzan, the 5 minute take, just come, put it down. I've never seen an artist come to a studio and do a song so professionally, so flawless, one take, boom, and run.
What lesson does should that teach though, Pat? Because you said that he didn't like the song, he obviously would have looked at the lyrics and not like it. Do you think that when a calypsonian is presented with a song and if probably the calypsonian did not maybe contribute to the writing, so sometimes a calypsonian would go to a writer and say, I want a song on this, but I want you to craft it for me. So do you think that calypsonians should look sometimes just beyond the lyrics and I just help us understand? I may not be asking the question correctly, but I just want to get a sense of what calypsonians should think when they see a song, because what I'm getting from is that sometimes calypsonians will see a song and they say, nah, I don't like that, that's not for me. And look at how big that song is, Tarzan, and what it did for Dice as well. So what is the lesson there?
Well, working together and compromise. The artist has to consider the writer has to consider the artist as well. But the artist must realize too that everyone will never experienced writer who knows what his song comprises. He has to trust his writer.
Okay.
And that was the only time Dice has ever doubted me. And that was the first time we worked. Only time. We talk a lot. I understand him very well. He knows what I like. I know what he like. And by that you have Tarzan. Then Joseph told me he was wondering why is that song playing among Dominica and Calypso for the carnival, because he didn't realize Dice was not known. And Tarzan is not really composing the way the average Dominican Calypso. My dad asked me why that song playing among all Dominican Calypso, and the Dominican guy said it's true. And he couldn't believe it. Dice did that so professionally.
Did you see it coming? Or at what stage did you see it coming? Dice is now 10 times, Calypso Monarch. Did you have that in your mind or back of your head, even very early when you recognize his talent, that he would make it really big on the stage and rip
Of course. I mean, listen, Dice is exceptional, I have the few times he lost, he didn't win, like the one he sang Let There Be Light and Who's the Leader. I let some Trinidadian friends who into calypsonians, musicians who play for the calypsonians, which come by me in New York. Like Jimmy, the guitar player, Robbie was a keyboard player, Randy was an engineer. Guys who were involved in the Trinidad Calypso competition. And they look at Dice that year. And they said, but he still win. Even if he made an error in both of those songs, he still won. I said, also. He said, listen, this man up in the 90s and all the way in the 60s and 70s. Even if they take it to a point, bring him down to 80 something, but he still did all the others. And that made other sense to me because Dominica, the final is so tight that when you make any little mistake you make, people figure you cannot win. Yeah. But saying this artist is in the 90 area and the other in the 70s, and he made an error. He loses 5 points or 10 points. He's still leading.
That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah. What about? I mean, Dice's 10-time Calypso King has been around. Do you feel that? I mean, there should be more in terms of like Dice being out there in the region or international. What can we do, or what do you think you can do as a writer to help that to make that happen?
Well, Dice is doing a lot of touring, really, but we like I said earlier, our music is more made for calypso competition.
For the competition, right?
But Pat, that song, I think you wrote it as well for Dice. Hold On to Cricket the West Indies. That's a big song as well. I don't think that song got enough recognition in the region.
Definitely.
Seriously,
even in Dominica, because many times I had
Dominica as well. But I was really hoping that on the regional front it would have picked up, and even the like the West Indies Cricket Board, or some of the people organizing cricket would have used that song on many platforms to promote, cricket. But I really felt that, the lyrics in that song is so big and it just fell by the wayside. That's a big song.
Like I said, even locally, because I've heard DJs doing when you have cricket season in Dominica,
play more of David
wrote a cricket song all the time,
Yeah, even locally, yes.
Yeah, locally too. That song should have been received much more accolades locally. And the local artists are the local DJs are the ones to push the song for it to make it on a regional level. But they never did.
Yeah, that's true. But Pat, when you look at Calypso now, the art form, of course, we continue to sustain it. It's challenging now. I mean, back in the day, Calypso was a bigger thing than what it is now. In terms of the attendance in particular, of course, a lot has changed, contributing to that. But what are your views now? Is there anything missing? What do you think we should put in the art form to, in terms of bringing in innovative ideas and all of that? What is your take on Calypso now as it stands?
Well, for one, I think the Calypso Association is like a couple Calypso King. They're not pushing back against political engineers in Dominica. The government, for instance, does not support Calypso at all, because to be allowing another group.
You say that again?
For the government to be allowing and helping another group to organize a show on the night of Calypso finals in Dominica is a shame.
But no, it's not. But not everybody will agree with you, because as I was saying, a lot has changed. Because we have to look at it as well. We are inviting people to come to Carnival and like the World Creole Music Festival as well. We have to understand that not everybody likes Calypso. It is what it is. It is what it is. The younger generation will not gravitate. And I take your point, I agree to a certain extent, but we also have to think that it's not everybody that will gravitate to Calypso. So now, the world has changed, a lot has changed. So now, before Calypso final, that would be the only activity. But now,
let me ask you, why isn't Calypso final allowed to be in the stadium?
Say, why isn't, well, that is bigger than my pay grade. But I can tell you that I know that a lot has changed. The stadium right now, first of all, the stadium is, even like as we speak, we have regional cricket going on. We know the islands, volcanoes, and combined campuses and colleges. So I can speak for that. I'm not answering for anybody, but I'm just telling you that I know that a lot has changed in the social landscape, not just in Dominica. So a lot of people come for Carnival, but they want other activities. So,
like I said, Carnival is not a one-day thing. Carnival is weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And a competition like the Carnival competition is such a cultural event that government should not encourage, or cultural department should not encourage any show. I mean, we live in a democracy. People can do what they want, but there are certain things we have to protect. Understand? Certain cultural things we have to protect, and I don't think it's wise for Calypso to be denied access to the stadium. If it's raining, people in the forecourt, it's a disaster. Why do we have a stadium then? Just for show and tell the creative music festival is in the stadium. And the Caribbean should make a fuss about it too.
So your view is that Calypso should be in the stadium?
Yes.
But okay, all right.
And you feel that the Calypso Association should be spearheading that? Okay.
Back against that. Especially in light of that other show which has gained much momentum and taking up on the Calypso crowd. Because it was a weekend, I could understand, but Calypso is a Carnival for weeks.
But don't you think as well, though, Pat, that even the Calypso Association needs to bring in more innovative ideas to attract the crowds that they used to attract before? To do things differently.
Yes, they have to do that. They have to adjust with time. Mm-hmm. But in part of the adjustment is they should be facing the government and say, hey, we need to use the stadium too. It's our stadium too.
Okay.
Equal opportunity, that's what you're saying.
I remember I've seen Haitian meetings in the stadium. I have seen, so why not Calypso?
Okay. I think that
the association needs to do other things apart from that.
Yes,
but in terms of like, as Ivona was mentioning, in terms of like other things you see happening, there's a lot of booyah coming into the Calypso. Is that something you think that we probably need to explore, or we want to keep it, classic Calypso?
Well, Calypso is separate by itself, and booyah is good. Calypso is classic by itself, so Calypso needs to. Calypso is very important, because that is where government that is interested in doing work for the people. That is where the government should be listening to know what people are thinking about you. And so you can adjust your standards and your operation.
Yeah, so you feel the heartbeat of the people and what they're talking about. So you can get your little survey right there from Calypso.
As you say, the Calypso is the mouthpiece of the
nation.
Yes.
I see what you're saying here. I know time again is against us, Annie, and in terms of what's happening in the part now, still just writing, continuing writing. You've written this year for a number of calypsonians again.
Well, it's getting harder and harder with age. Aging
right.
Is a part of life. In life, either you die young or you age. And even so, I'm kind of on my way out. It is getting to be too much for me right now. So any day now, I got a little bored.
But do you have like a lot of songs that you have on your phone, or you've stored somewhere that haven't even been released, and you have those you preserved for whenever the time arrives?
Well, yes, I do have a few.
Okay.
But the kind of concentration is required.
You're right.
I can't afford that anymore. And plus, like I say, I am satisfied to be hearing the songs are coming out from the other writers. I feel calypso is safe.
Okay.
Right. But before you, I know you say you're at the point because it's becoming a lot more strenuous and you're gonna be boring out soon. But let me say before you bow out, Pat, thank you for all the years you've given us, all those great hits, and for all what you've written and all what you've said, and the way in which you've presented the calypsos and all the calypsonians you've worked with. So thank you for that. We appreciate you for that. We appreciate what you've done for calypso and for music on the whole in Dominica. So thank you for that, man.
Remember that song, NIgel? I love her not because she's pretty. I love her for NACMs. You remember that song, right, Pat?
You like that one, eh?
Yeah, I like that song. It was a good song back then.
Well, that one was kind of easy, another competition song, just a song for regular times, you know. I mean, exploring a different side of calypso writing. And I remember Fred White worked closely with me to produce and promote a video with that song.
Okay.
I know it's almost difficult for you, but in terms of having a favorite, is there like a calypso you've written that you will always hold dear to your heart? That you're like, man, this was one of mine, treasured calypsos.
Yeah.
Well, all my songs are like my children, you know.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I like that.
But there are a few who will be close to you, like Hurricane Blue, King Dice. These are the days.
That's one of my other favorite songs, man. These are the days.
My brothers from me.
Yes.
What about this one? This one from Trinidad.
I like to play with
oh yeah.
Captain Never There, Dominica.
Right. And Pirates.
Yeah, Pirates are the
Caribbean.
Anyone from Trinidad days you would have written for Trinidad specifically? That
yeah,
yes.
they afraid.
What about from Bricks from Father Branca?
Oh yes.
A lot of talent he has as well.
Bricks is one of the artists who has the ability to sing a sad song and smile while singing it, you know. Sing a sad song, carry out the feeling and keep smiling while you're doing it. He and my sister Julia to be blessed in doing that.
What is your sister? What is your sister
Julia
doing?
When I want to sing a sad song, you have to put his sadness expression in his face.
But he would have the smile.
Bricks carry the smile, and if you're looking at him, you think he's going to talk to the sadness of the song.
You had that one, Keep the Candles Burning, right? That was one of...
Yes.
Big song. What about your sister Julia, Pat?
Bricks was the first one who started Bricks again, you know, and then Dice took it up and everybody is...
Say that again, Pat?
Bricks was the first one to coin with Bricks again.
And then Dice took it up, Dice again, and then everybody has that going now.
Yeah.
No, but I was asking, Pat, what about your sister Julia? What is she involved in? We have to end in a short while. But what is Julia doing in terms of music? Does she, is she still involved in music?
No, she's in family life, kids and a family.
Okay, that's all right. That's good.
But that sister of mine is so close to my heart. I remember when I sang I Can't Change My Song at the House of Culture.
I Can't Change My Song?
And the song begins, musician, sing a road mad song. But the band comes to a abrupt halt before that part comes in. When the band stopped, boom, I just couldn't start the song. I just got blank and I just heard her behind me saying, musician. I just picked up there, sing a road mad song. And I left the song so far because people thought it was a arrangement, but it was an error on my part, and she just covered it up so beautifully.
Wow.
So, Pat, as we end, how do you feel these days? I know, as we said, you're not as agile as before, obviously, but generally, how do you feel?
Well, I'm not at my head not optimal, but I am okay. I have seen, I know many of my friends, many other people I'm have deteriorated even more than I have. My movement is a little bit slower. But I'm doing okay.
Nice.
All in all, I'm doing okay.
You looking forward to the Calypso show tonight, to the semi-finals and then to the finals?
Most definitely. And I find this is very competitive.
Okay, it is.
Yes, so very quickly as we end, because you have a lot of ladies that's in the competition now, so it's something you like to see.
Oh yes, I like the information, and I was thinking to myself that maybe we might have more ladies in the final than the men.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be very interesting.
Very
And it also means that there are a lot of good writers emerging.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to encourage them to stay in there, get better, and keep doing the work.
What do you prefer, Pat? Like now, of course, at your home, as you are at home, you prefer to listen or listen and view, or view when this show is on?
View is always better.
To view, you like to view and listen, of course. Okay, all right.
Wonderful, which means you'll be logging on to DBS this evening to view the show. Pat, as we wind up, like words to writers, what you want to tell our writers, any words of advice you want to offer them before we leave?
Well, keep doing what you're doing. Study the craft. Listen to the best. Listen to your competitors, because I always do that. If this year, like when NC was there, the time I thought NC did better than me for this year, I'll start right away picking up, so that next year I will outdo him. So it's a competition, so you have to be competitive all the club.
All right, Annie, quickly from you as we end. I'm happy you stayed around with us.
Yes, I stayed on to support Pat because I thought he would make the 2 hours, but he did. I'm very proud of him that he did.
Yeah.
And your final thoughts on Mass Camp, Annie, because one of those who've been around with Mass Camp.
Final thought on Mass Camp. Well, Mass Camp has always been struggling, and we still are. But we do what we have to do to bring the show to the people.
Beautiful.
Yes, we have to end.
Yes. And let me add, the Mass Camp is concerned, Annie as well, Annie, Valda, Bob, the people's name to come to mind.
Yes.
Also Bosso, I don't know how Bosso does it. Bosso is involved in so many organizations and he's always on point.
Yeah, always committed to a task.
I wonder how much time Bosso spends at his home.
But as I want to say, I know we got to end. I know we have another program. But Pat, once again, thank you, man. Thank you for your contribution to Calypso. Thank you for your contribution to music and to ensuring that every Calypso season we have some songs that we can listen to hear what's going on. We appreciate that. So thanks again for sharing and for connecting.
All the best, Annie. All the best, Pat.
It's good to see you again. I'm seeing you for a long time. Good to see you. Thanks for Ivona. Thanks for everything, everybody. And everybody enjoy Carnival. Go to the semi-final tonight. Back your calypsonian strongly. Keep Calypso alive.
Yeah,
because Calypso is very important. If America had Calypso, maybe Donald Trump would be a different person.
I support you on that one.
Thank you, Pat, and we'll
thanks,
talk.
Pat. Thanks, Daddy. Appreciate it, man.
Right, take care, guys. Thank you again.
Take care. Nice seeing you again, Pat.
Okay.
Enjoy the carnival. Bye-bye.
Yes, all right. So, Nigel, as we come to the end, as I say, we'll not be on next week, Saturday. We'll not be on the week after because we're going to make way for the Sam Nigua program on DBS Radio, but the program will continue, of course, after the carnival. It was a pleasure. Nice vibes, man.
As always. Right. As always. We connect again.
All right.
Goodbye.
Major Mystic.